Planets are conscious. This planet is conscious. And this planet emits a specific frequency. All planetary frequencies have now been recorded by the space agencies. And each one has a different frequency. And when you take the sound waves and then put them into an audio program and slow it down a little bit, it sounds like conversations. Planets are conscious. This planet is conscious. And this planet emits a specific frequency. All planetary frequencies have now been recorded by the space agencies. And each one has a different frequency. And when you take the sound waves and then put them into an audio program and slow it down a little bit, it sounds like conversations.
Well, there you go. So,
Yeah.
you know what we're gonna be talking about today.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of, I guess, I want to say web surfing. Remember that? It used to be a thing. But basically it's just me like looking for the same type of information and just trying to pull it all together and see what it really is. Because again, the overlapping theme of this is all content matters. So basically every week or so we're putting puzzle pieces together. If you didn't get it from before, I hope you get it now. So like everything's kind of connected that we're gonna be talking about. And if you don't see that it's connected, then you need to go back and just pay attention, because it's all explained. It's all explained.
Yo, that's crazy. I given a compliment today to someone in the Twatlerverse. That's Twitter for you uneducated people.
For y'all out there.
That I was giving kudos for having the ability to connect dots that to most people will probably see unrelated. So that's crazy you said that. And it's also with that clip you were playing, to me is very comprehensive, because it makes a lot of sense, especially from the perspective of Earth, because living things grow out of Earth. You know what I'm saying? So why would Earth not be alive?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that just makes sense.
Moms do it.
For real.
Women do it.
Yeah, and they're alive.
Right.
So
I mean, we do it.
You know what I'm saying?
There's shit that grows out of us.
you know what
all
I'm saying?
the time.
For real. So that's that on that from when you put a little bit of logic to it.
It just makes sense.
It sucks though that a lot of that gets taken advantage of or is like crazily neglected, especially here in the Western world. Like, we were talking about this before we even got on the show. We were saying, I was telling you about just like how the corporations will just dump pollution, and you were talking about how that extends even just to their trucking companies or delivery systems, whatever.
All the way down to the common man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy. We all really have a part to play in this.
Whether you know it or not.
They like to push things like climate change, but that's not the only problem. You know what I'm saying?
That actually might not even be a problem.
You know what I'm saying? That might not be a problem. Right.
Like, because, well, I didn't mean to stop, but I mean, it's all whatever.
Yeah.
So the Earth, so what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing, and a couple times here and now with other people that cross-referencing, there's supposed to be another sun. There's supposed to be two suns.
You know what's crazy? It's funny you said that, because most star systems are binary. Like, most that they look out into outer space, whatever. Most star systems are binary, and there's usually another twin star that goes with it.
Somewhere, right?
Yeah.
On the other side.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I've been hearing, and that's why it's been actually getting so hot, because because before there was there's the one sun, so the summers were hot, they weren't as hot as it's been. So now that the second sun's supposed to be coming in, like, the heat from wherever that is combining with the first sun. And I've heard that because back in obviously ancient times, and most people will probably won't even pay attention, but back in ancient times and all the stuff that you've been hearing and whatever, I've come across that there was two suns, and everybody had superpowers, and the world was huge, and you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the stuff that we've been taught doesn't even mention or hasn't even like alluded to maybe like something different.
Right. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were just having just chopping it up with each other, and we was talking about he was talking about his son and how his son like was trying to basically impress him with whatever thing he was going through at that time, and he told his son like there's nothing new under the sun. And his son was kind of offended by it because he thought he was like so revolutionary with his whatever he was bringing up to him, and that's crazy. I mean, like now that you're talking about this, it made me reflect on that even more, and think about just the fact that there are aspects of human history that we are only now experiencing right now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But like it goes back to the not everything. I mean, nothing's new under the sun theory, because we weren't there back 10,000 years ago, 200,000 years ago, whatever, and we don't know the total extent of what the world was like at that time.
Oh my gosh, there are so many like structures and like temples and shit all over the world that even everybody's like, oh, how do we build the pyramids? How do we build the pyramids? All right, but the pyramids aren't even like the only thing that was here. Like there's temples and mountains that are carved with faces on them, and there's like big, huge structures that sunk below the earth line.
And
so no, go ahead.
And that's only the things that
They told us.
remain. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about the thing? Like, how many times you go to an old neighborhood and it's like, oh, I remember there used to be a building right here. Da, da, da. Right. So you know what I'm saying? And then now it's not there. So the things that we talk about that are from the ancient days, those are just the things that remain. That are still here. There's probably so much shit that was here before. And like I was talking to Nisha about this. I was telling her like, yo, it's crazy like how they attribute like cave drawings and stuff to like, oh, that's just some caveman shit. But what if that was just the most convenient method of recording shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? After shit goes, because I was thinking about it like, yo, if everything goes to shit right now, right? Everything just gets blown up, whatever. I'm not a fucking scientist or a fucking one of these people that make merchandise and shit. So I'm not gonna know how to make it other than just the most remedial means. You know what I'm saying? Like I know how to draw a fucking picture, write some letters on a fucking wall. You know what I'm saying? Right. I could do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I could do that shit in the sand or some shit. You know what I mean? And that might just be what happened to these ancient pieces of relics that we find. It's just that whatever like I'm under strong belief or impression that like humanity was always like how it is. Like it's always been advanced. Like it's always you know what I'm saying? So and then we go through turmoil or devastation, whatever, mass devastation, and then everything gets wiped out, and then whoever survives, they just do what they can. You know what I'm saying?
Rebuild.
You know what I'm saying?
But
like Dr. Stone. You ever see the show Dr. Stone, the anime?
No, I haven't.
Oh well, it's basically like all humans had turned into stone for whatever reason, and then this one dude, Dr. Stone, like he was the first one to like change back to normal. So then they're going through the process. The anime is just talking about how they go through the process of rebuilding society and shit, and you know what I'm saying, using their old knowledge of the past to rebuild
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not everybody is a fucking scientist like him. You know what I mean? So everybody they just do the best they can. Like they try to make replicas of things. You know what I'm saying?
Maintain.
So then back to the nothing's new under the sun. That like really shows that, because people are just gonna go back to what they know. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna go like, oh, I don't know how to make a train, but I can make something that's similar to a train. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Like reinventing the wheel.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, damn. Like I guess it's crazy because like how many times has this happened then? Like okay, so the Earth. That's at the beginning. Remember, we had it was conscious. It's conscious. So also before I get into that, the frequencies that were being played at the beginning were of Earth, Mars, the Moon. I want to say Venus, but I could be wrong. But it was Billy Carson that was talking about that, and he has a TikTok page called Forbidden Knowledge. So if you want to go look it up, or follow, or find more information basically pertaining to what we're talking about, that's where I found that.
Mm-hmm.
But if the world is conscious and the world is alive, that means that the world has been living for quite some time, right? So if we've been rebuilding civilizations for a long time, like, then who's getting rid of us? Is it the Earth getting rid of us? Because if that's the case, then it looks like we might be due for one of those cleanses of the like when the Earth finally decides to take a shower. You know what I'm saying? Because everything's going to shit right now.
It really seems like it. I would not disagree with you.
Still. And I know we've been talking about puzzle pieces and vaccines and everything. I finally said it. Third episode. This is where we get banned, guys. But, it's so crazy how everybody's still talking about this. Like, they still have the masses afraid of whatever's going on. Yet, they are still draining the planet of the resources. They're still doing their stuff. The corporations are still running. It's not like, all this came out and then the big corporations stopped working too.
Yeah, they got the tag of, what do you call it? Essential business.
Which is cool. I mean, for them, don't get me wrong, but if those are the corporations that are still running, like, wouldn't that mean that they might be part of whatever's going on? Like, how are they allowed to stay open? Why do they have this? Why do they have that? Why are these companies even, or their company CEOs or the people, or why are they even pushing this whole thing? Like, what are they keeping us from?
There's a lot of questions that people just don't ask on a regular basis, especially people that are quote unquote journalists and reporters. Like, you ask y'all job, y'all don't ask these questions, and you leave it up to people like me and my co-host here,
yes,
to ask these questions, and then the regular everyday person is gonna push back on us because we are not accredited like y'all journalists and reporters that are out there. You know what I'm saying? But it's, nonetheless, it don't matter if we're accredited or not. We're all in this together, so we should be asking these questions. And if you're somebody who doesn't ask these questions or push backs on these questions, like, you have to look at yourself and figure out what you doing right now in this world that you're not asking no questions about what's going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just okay with it. But a lot of people who are, it's funny because I see, like, a lot of people who are okay with what's going on, they'll be the same ones who talk about, oh, can't trust nobody, or it'd be your right hand that do the dirty to you, whatever, right? It'd be like they'll say that, but it's like, okay, so, but you could, if somebody that you call your friend, your best friend, whatever, could do something dirty to you, why are you not questioning people that don't even know you at all? You know what I'm saying? That don't care about you.
Right.
Like, why are you not questioning that stuff?
Right.
And that's a real question. That's real. I'm not just being funny with it. Like, really ask yourself that. Like, come on, like, expand your mind, expand your comprehension of what's going on. Because you not doing that is a detriment to basically humanity. Period. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Because we need more people asking questions. We need more people being worried. We need more people shining a light on people that's actually trying to harm us.
Exactly.
Harm us, you know what I'm saying?
Start researching these people. Like,
that nigga, that nigga that stole that little piece of bud from you, whatever, is not the worst thing in your life. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yo, for real, cause you'll flip that nigga's life upside down.
Yeah, for real.
You'll be like, yo, so I was trying to roll up, nigga, and I noticed that all this shit. You notice mad different things, right? To put a whole picture together. But you won't notice mad different things over here about your actual life and put them shits together. That's crazy to me.
That is crazy, and it's just, to me, that just shows the power of social engineering and stuff, and conditioning and stuff. That's all that shows to me, is that shit really works 100% if you allow your mind to not be strong.
Right. If you fall into that, because all that stuff, like I was trying to explain to you earlier, like, we watch that shit in TV, we watch that shit in movies, we read about that shit, we see it on social media, we see it on Twitter, we see it. then once that happens, we start seeing it in our families. We start seeing it in our peers and everything. Where do you think that shit comes from? We were never born to be a hateful whatever. You learn that shit. So if you're learning, so just like math, right? You wasn't born to being like, oh yeah, 2 + 2 is 4. You went to school, right? Just like fucking the history classes or the history shit that they're teaching you, all the fake, all the fake lies by heart. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as some truth comes or something crazy that's different, you don't even give it a second thought. But it's different for a reason. You don't even look into it. You gotta look into it. Like, why would that even be presented to you in the first place? Why would that be? You know what I mean? So with that being said, we're being force fed information, just like we're being force fed behavior, taught behaviors. You watch TV, like I said. You can name. I don't want to say any black movie, but if you name a black movie, I'm pretty sure there's some. Oh, this is gang trying to kill my gang and blah blah blah. Oh, we just trying to get up out the hood. We just trying to. So, the whole thing is trying to get up out the hood. So now, what are we all doing? Trying to get up out the hood.
Right.
Okay. So now, in the movies too. Well, we can't get up at the hood right now, so we're gonna have to celebrate, and we're gonna have to. Oh, let's go pop some bottles. Let's go get the da da da. Right. So now, what are we doing? Oh, we gotta go pop this Hennessy bottle. We gotta go pop the most expensive shit. We gotta drink all the. All right, cool. That makes sense because that's what we've been shown. When we all through growing up, all through whatever, that shit was glorified. And now we're living it, and we're living that, and it's detrimental because that's what they want.
They really want that. Like it's so beyond. It's so beyond just the words I'm saying right now. Like, they want it like how I want to take my next breath. You know what I'm saying? So, it's when you take a people, or when a people get so far away and dispersed from their origins, it's so important for other people other nations or whatever outside of that recognize. It's so important for them to make sure that you don't get back to that, because of the strength that you get just from knowing that information and knowing where you come from and stuff. And I was watching a video clip of some dude. He was trying to explain to an elder how, just explain to him about, like, you know, I'm just gonna go off topic a little bit in a little way, but it's relevant. He was talking to an elder about the Israelites and how, you know, the diaspora or just the people in general have, you know, because I would say I'm gonna consider myself part of that. We got so dispersed that and mixed up with everything else that's going on in the world, that, you know, we picked up traits of other people, you know what I'm saying, which makes sense. And in over time, how, you know, the conditioning, the social conditioning works on even, you know, and everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, it will work on you if you allow it to, and especially if you're disconnected, and you become like a servant to that mindset, where now, you know, now people who are actually attached to the mindset, they have to work to reboot you into it, and the people who are outside of that,
recondition your ass.
You know what I'm saying? The people who are outside of that, who want you to stay conditioned and under their conditions, their goal is to make sure you don't ever leave that, because if the people get rebooted, basically it's like a kingdom, you know what I'm saying? And if the people get rebooted back into that kingdom will come. Kingdom come. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's not what they don't want. That they do not want the kingdom to come into fruition. You know what I'm saying? I always say, like, there's more to that sentence. Kingdom come into fruition. You know what I'm saying? That means into reality, manifest itself to really be a real thing. And, you know, I'm not going to talk like I'm a top educated person about it, but just the idea or the concept of that is something that I feel like I could resonate with easily, because I understand that if you put something together, it's a whole. That makes sense, right? Like you put all the pieces together, it makes a picture.
It better.
You know what I'm saying? It better, right? It better. Or if it put all the pieces together and it's just a piece, I'll be like, damn.
Well, I need to go do some more something.
Yo,
I'm find the rest of
right,
this.
right,
You know?
right. I'm not complete. I myself, my education, my knowledge is not complete for me to think that I was complete with a piece.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and it's just crazy, like how you know, extensive this idea of like of a conquering, this divide and conquer thing is going, like it really goes so deeply, and over time, many decades and generations, people, I really feel like people just cannot grasp that it's so,
Just don't get it.
so deep. Like it's not a joke. Like it's so far reaching from the past. Like they are in the past right now. They're presently in the past right now, doing this to us right now, if that makes sense. You know, and it's we as right now are basically proving them right by continuing to be dispersed, continuing to be disconnected from each other.
Yo, you know, that's crazy how you just said all that, because literally, I wasn't watching. I don't think I've ever seen the Truman Show, but have you seen the Truman Show?
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I haven't seen it, but you know, before we get into it, I'm gonna just play this clip real quick, because this really got me, and I was like, what if the world is the Truman Show? So here, I'm gonna play this real quick.
There's nothing fake about Truman. If I were there's nothing fake about Truman himself. We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that. I have been watching you your whole life. It's okay, Truman. There's no more truth out there. And there isn't.
Hold on. This is live, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not live, but it's live to me.
It's live right now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to redo that. You'll give me a second, cause I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to really understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause what he was talking about was literally. Watch. Here it is. I got it.
There's nothing fake about Truman himself. We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that. I have been watching you your whole life. It's okay, Truman. There's no more truth out there than there is in the world I created for you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
All right. So basically, that was a clip of the Truman Show, and it's wild because if you really think about it, the dude was watching him his whole life, right? So basically, what I got from this little clip right here, I never seen the Truman Show, but here's what I'm thinking. So Truman's been in a box, maybe a box or whatever, or a world. Let's call it a world. You know what? Let me just go ahead and connect it to us right now, okay? So Truman's in a box in a world. We're in a world in a box, whatever. You know, four sides, closed, whatever. And what if there is this person or these entities or these agencies or these blah 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 blah, whatever you want to call them, that are making the world for us to live in? Okay, so just like he said, there's no truth out there anymore, which, you know, obviously is a lie, because they're trying to keep you in the box,
Right.
and that this happens all the time. This is happening right now. This is happening right. They're talking about, here, take this shit. Go ahead, get the jab, right? Stay in this box. We got you. We make sure that we're good. We're putting this life together for you. Okay, but at the end of the movie, or at the end of this clip, Jim Carrey, Truman, he's like, nah, because he's supposed to leave the room, right? But the dude is keeping him in the room with all this fake shit, all this bullshit, all the shit that he wants to see, or all the shit that's been made for him to believe in, right? I'm not crazy. At least that's what I'm paying attention to. Now, like I said, I never seen the movie. So me putting all this stuff together with my brain and connecting all the dots and what I've been learning, what I've been seeing, and how TV and movies are actually documents of real life, what would stop us from being Truman?
Not a damn thing.
Right.
I mean, like, if you even think about it on a micro scale, we do it like what some humans do to animals. You know what I'm saying? We put them in the zoo. We put them in the aquarium. You know what I'm saying? We even have them as pets in our own homes. And what is to say that...
PlayStation's making mad noise.
Oh.
It's in the
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn it off.
I don't want them to be like, I can't hear.
Okay. So,
you know. But at least it works, though.
Yeah. What's to say that there aren't humans or beings higher than us that are doing the same thing to us? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, like we could be on a wildlife or a safari reserve or whatever right now, you know what I mean, and just not be privy to it because we think we're so whatever.
We're so stuck we're so stuck in our own. We're stuck in our own reality that they created for us to keep us stuck. So we're not seeing what's going on. We're not watching it
because we think we have more control than what we do. And you know, me being able to pay my bills or turn off the PlayStation like that is very minor control. You know, think about the things we have control of. Think about like you listening right now. Think about the things you have control of right now. Is that really control or is that allowance? Like, are you really free or are you just using what you have at your disposal? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's these are things that I really think about. Like, I can't just talk about I'm gonna go buy a plane and fly somewhere.
Right.
I can't do that. I can't be like I'm about to go on a boat or I'm about to just have a boat and go somewhere. I can't just be like I'm gonna get in a car and drive it. Think about these things. Like, think about them. I can't just be like, oh, I'm about to throw a block party. No, I need a permit for that. Like, all these things, when you actually start putting them into perspective, you start to realize, like,
it's crazy.
I can't do shit.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing out here in these streets.
And you know what? It's crazy too because have you heard of a straw man before?
Oh, a straw man, like a straw man argument, or just making a straw man out of something, like somebody, like basically a scapegoat.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically, that would be that's one of the definitions, right? So let's go off of that definition then. Okay. So we have a straw man. You know what that straw man is?
What?
The identity that they gave us. So because they can't deal with us. Again, this is something I've been learning. So they can't really deal with us because we have rights, sovereign and human and unalienable and blah 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 blah. All the stuff that we're supposed to have, the natural shit. So basically, when they do this, right? When they give us a straw man, they basically what that is our birth certificate. So when your parents write down your name on a birth certificate, they are registering you. Because what the fuck I need a birth certificate for? I was born.
That's it.
What's right?
The government or no entity has anything to do with that but the creator of my life. Exactly.
So now, if I'm signing a piece of paper, or my parents are signing a piece of paper, because you gotta be a parent or a guardian to sign for somebody legally under 18, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, what is our birth certificate for? What do we really need that for?
That's a good question.
Just to prove that we exist, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So, now, what's the corporation?
Basically like a business. In layman's terms.
Something that separates you from whatever, so you're not alive. So it's not alive, right? So corporation actually means dead speak or whatever.
So, yeah,
corpse, right?
Yeah.
See? So we're doing this all the time. We're always putting shit together. So now the dead speak whatever, so you're not alive. So they can't. So by that even being a thing with the birth certificate, we are made into a corporation. We're made into a business. We're registered to the government. with our name, all of our information, basically, right? So have you ever seen when people lose their children, they're like legally kidnapping their children? Okay, that's the birth certificate. So birth certificate means that you're property.
Yep.
Just like you have a bill of sale, just like you have a register for a car title, just like you get, if you go register a business, you get a certificate. Basically, all those are birth certificates. Basically, when they tell you, when you started, when you're able to be sold and bought, and when who owns you. That's what a birth certificate is. Who owns you, right? If your parents have that birth certificate, they own you. Because it gets so crazy. Because parents, even the word parents, means a pair who rents you. Because you're born into a society and then you register with your name to the government, which makes you a business.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
So now, we're not going to get into all the words, but if they're renting you, if they're renting you, who owns you? The government owns you because they have your birth certificate.
Right.
Which is your bill of sale.
Right.
And they get a copy of that shit at your birth. So from the beginning, you're already owned.
Right.
So now that you're owned and whatever, and you're a corporation, you can tax a corporation. How many taxes we got? Millions.
Yep.
You can fine a corporation. So that's where all that shit comes from.
Yep.
You can tax a corporation, you can tax a business,
Right.
When did we start becoming taxed? At fucking birth. Because we are already a business to the government.
Right. And it's crazy because and then let's go back to the preconditioning mindsets, because now that goes into, that's how the wickedness exists, because they will teach your parents that that's what they're supposed to do, like that's what it is. Exactly. But at the end of the day, it's not like if I became a parent right now and the government was telling me, oh, that's what you're supposed to do, my brain, how I've wired it for myself, it will tell me like, no, you're just telling me that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're just a person telling me that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So why should I believe you? Why? No, I don't have to believe you.
I literally don't even have to follow these laws.
Nothing that you're saying to me. Like, I don't have to. I don't have to do nothing to you, because you're just born like me. Like, you're just, we're born like me. So you're just trying to bullshit me. Right. Because it's like somebody coming over to your house. I always use the house metaphor to get through to people. It's like somebody coming to your house and telling you got to wash the dishes, or telling you got to wash my dishes that I'm bringing to your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like somebody telling you what to do in your house.
Even crazier, you supposedly own that house, right? But you're paying taxes on it.
Right, exactly.
They're not even coming into your house to tell you that you got to do all this shit.
They're just, they're trying to condition you to believe that you have to do that. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do anything, like, period. You don't have to do nothing these people are telling you, because they don't own. They want you to believe that they own shit, but they don't own anything.
It's all bullshit.
It's all you falling for it.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I was about to say, like, they're taxing the STrawMAN. They are the scapegoat, right? They're taxing your scapegoat. But because you go ahead and be like, oh, yeah, that's me, that's your shit. So you got to take care of it.
Yep.
But if you were just like, nah, bro,
I'm good on that.
That's not whatever. I mean, obviously, you got to have the whole legal jargon to back it up and
see,
play the game.
You don't even need to do that.
But
you just,
right?
you could literally say some common layman's terms, like how I always say, I was just born. Like, I don't have nothing to do with this. Like, I was not here when you guys were making these decisions. I was born into this. I'm not gonna give into this. Some people will listen to me right now and say, like, oh no, that's not valid. But that's the most valid statement you could ever make, because you were just born into it. You did not have any decisions in it. You did not have any say in it. There are other people trying to rule your life, rule your existence right now, always, and your kids, and their kids, and your grandparents, and your parents. There's people that's just constantly doing that. You know what I'm saying?
And you're just letting it fucking happen.
Exactly. There's nobody that has a higher claim to your life or a higher claim to anything on this earth than you. There's nobody, no single human that's out here. I don't care how much money they got. I don't care how much status they got. I don't care how many people voted for them. They don't have a higher claim to nothing on this earth more than you. We are all equal, period. Like y'all talk about, oh, everybody's equal with equality. That includes the politicians. That includes the fucking billionaires and millionaires.
Thank you.
That includes all of these people that y'all try to exclude inadvertently. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that equality means equality. If I want to fucking, if I want to motherfucking make a little, garden right here, I can do that because y'all did not make ground. You did not make grass. You did not make air. You did not make none of that stuff. All that stuff is attributed to the master creator of everything over here. That's it. That's the only being that you could, and I don't even call it a being. That's the only whatever that
energy.
you could attribute that to. If you as a human being attribute any of that to another human, you're pathetic. You're trash to me. You're garbage to me because you don't understand that you are just as equal as everybody. You're just as strong and beautiful and everything as everybody else. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna call you garbage just so you can wake up and listen to the words, because I know hurtful words wake people up. So I'm gonna call you trash. I'm gonna call you garbage. I'm gonna call you pathetic. I'm gonna call you nothing, just so you can understand that I'm talking to you.
Right? Because I need you to fucking get it. Because I had to get it. I had to, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was just, dropped. Oh, here it is. Here's whatever. Like, everybody needs to wake up. And the more you keep hearing that this isn't this or this isn't that or you're this or you're that, you're going to find ways to become better than. Or, find out what you're supposed to be doing. Or find out where you're supposed to be at. Or what it is your purpose is, and even in life. Like I said, what you're supposed to be doing. But if you don't ever get up to figure it out, or if you don't ever really just wake up, quote unquote, not quote unquote, but woke, quote unquote, wake, quote, whatever the hell you want to call it, you will be stuck and you'll be content with whatever the fuck is going on, and you're gonna just take the whole stabby stab, and then now we're back to square one because you're back to square one.
Contentment should only rely upon yourself. Like, you should only be content with where you are, not content with what you are given.
With what's going on. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not at all. Like, you gotta understand that like, wickedness or nefarious intent is always active. Like, it's always happening. You know what I'm saying? People are always trying to get over on you, especially if you got a good heart and you just are worried about you and your family. There's people that prey on that, period. They will do it. Like, they will do it incessantly. Like, they will not stop because they want to get as many as people under their thumb as possible. There's just people that do that, and you as a person, you should understand, like, you listening to me right now, as a person should understand what I'm saying, because we all innately have the ability to rule with an iron fist, or rule with people under our thumbs. Like, we all know how to do it, and we know what it takes to do that. And there are people that will exercise that ability. You know what I mean? Like, most people, I will say, do not exercise that ability because we all just want to just live and be in peace and harmony. Most people just want to be decent people, but you should understand that there's going to be people out there that don't want to do that. They want to explore further into how far they can take this.
And there's always going to be people that want to do that.
All the time.
With even like you were just saying, even with just you, they want to see how far they can take you.
Right.
Like, you'll always find somebody, why is people pushing my buttons? Why they still fucking doing whatever? Why they still this, that, and the third? And you're just like, well, fuck. I can't, how am I supposed to get over this? How am I supposed to really, whatever? At the end of the day, it's you. You need to figure it out. You need to find a way. You need to go ahead and figure your life out. Why are you allowing this? What aren't you seeing? Because these people, the people that keep doing the same shit over and over and over and over again, they're gonna keep doing it. because you're not stopping them. And you're never, and if you don't know what they're doing, or you don't know why they're doing it, you're just going to go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt. But that's not all right. That's not okay. And that's where we are as a whole real society. Think about it. How many times have you gone to the hospital and been like, oh, okay, this is right. This is what's supposed to be happening. So they're going to go ahead and draw my blood and give me these pills and told me to sit down and blah, blah, blah. But you went in there for a broken finger, or you went in there for because you couldn't, whatever. But like, they need to run all these tests. And you're like, okay, cool. Run all the tests, take my blood, all right, but what do you take my blood for? Did they tell you? All right, well, height and weight and age and all this information. Well, what are they telling you? Oh, we need to take it for statistics. We need to take it for, just make sure that, we got your information right. Okay, but they're just taking your information. They're not telling you where this shit's going. You're just being complacent with it because that's what's supposed to happen.
Exactly. And you're being told that's what's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
Like, it's really because they really think they could just keep taking advantage of us because of the fact that we don't ask questions. We just go along to get along. You know what I'm saying? We just go along for convenience. And that's the problem with a lot of humans. It's like, we love convenience. Like, we just won't give it up. Like, if they seen that there was a disregard for that stuff, they will start feeling so hurt and confused, because now it's like, damn, like, how can we take control of these people if we don't condition them to want these things? You know what I'm saying?
They don't need us no more.
You know what I'm saying? Or we don't need them no more.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, that's what they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear that. They want to make you feel like, oh, if I don't have this degree, I can't get work. I can't get no money. If I don't have this X thing, I can't get X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean?
Meanwhile, you over here giving some simple ass advice to somebody, and it worked out for their lives. But the next person's about to go to a psychiatrist and talking about, I need to spend fucking $2,000 a month to talk about my problems. Does that make sense to you? Because that sounds like a whole controlled situation to me. Just think about it. When you were born, right? We'll go back to that. When you were born, okay, there's two sets of control. There's your parents that are like, yo, we're gonna speak for him right now, speak for her right now, and we're gonna get what's right. Okay. And then there's the overall control, the doctor, the pharmaceutical, whatever you want to say. The
politician, we'll throw that in there.
Right, the politician, because the politician is literally controlling the doctor, because the doctor's going to tell you what you need to get for your child. So there's your parents got control, and like the hospital, and then the politicians. So who has real control? And that's what we were talking about before. You were like, oh, are you allowed to do this shit, or are you really in control? Because you're only in control if you take control. You could tell everybody, no, I don't want none of these shots for my child. We're leaving right now. But they might fight you on that. And as much times they want to fight you on that, if you give in, you don't have control no more over whatever the hell goes on.
The first second you give in, the first second you let them put that boops in them,
that's it.
It's a wrap. You're done. You lost it. You're the bee in this situation now.
And I'm not even trying to be, like I said, I'm never trying to be better, below, left, or right than anybody else. I'm just trying to float here and tell you that this shit is crazy. I'm been in the same spot, not in the same, I don't want to say same spot, but I want to say like same headspace, same mindset, same nebula, whatever you want to, whatever the brain or the mental space that you want to call it, however you want to call it, that's where I've been at. And all I've been doing is thinking, this doesn't make sense to me. Why? Couple things, okay? Everybody, there's a thing here. Why are we, like I said earlier, why are we so inclined to fight each other? Why is it so this team versus that team? Why is it so, oh, we gotta be the best out of everything? All right, it's in everything. Your video games, your TV, your books, your fucking, your space around you, your environment.
Right, your social media.
All of it. I gotta be the better. I gotta be this. I gotta be that. And people, and what gets me, because it literally got me. Like, I'll stop in the middle of whatever I'm doing. I'll be like, why am I doing this? Who told me that this was all right? Who told me that this is something that I should be doing right now? And you'll think back and you'll think and you'll keep thinking, and you'll come across people that be like, yo, you shouldn't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Why are you doing this? Don't do that to yourself. But the more thing that you'll realize is that you'll just have glimpses of TV shows, glimpses of movies, glimpses of games, glimpses of like parties and college parties and whatever the fuck you've seen. I should have started with why am I drinking, but that's like the whole thing, because you've been seeing it. You're partying, you're going out, you're doing this, you're doing that. Everything's just happening around you. So obviously, what are you gonna do? You're only gonna do what you see, and that's what the whole thing is about. The truth and everything else that you need to really be focused on is hidden. They don't tell you about fruits and vegetables no more. They don't tell you about exercise on a daily basis. They don't tell you that healthy relationships are where you need to be at. They don't tell you that going outside is good for you. They don't tell you about the sun. They don't tell you about vitamins that come from natural shit. They don't tell you that, fucking Wi-Fi is dangerous. Or they don't tell you anything that has negative attributes or negative contributions to your life.
Mm-hmm.
And what do? You go out and buy that shit. I'm gonna go buy McDonald's. I want to go get Wi-Fi for my house so I don't have to pay for fucking cell phone service.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go fucking get the next best TV or the next biggest system or whatever, not knowing that all this shit emits frequencies and shit, and they're not gonna tell you about that.
Everything you're describing is called convenience.
Exactly.
Convenience
That's what we were talking about.
Is like the biggest detriment to humanity, because we get a high off of instant gratification. And one of the creators of Facebook, he was talking about that, and that's why Facebook has become so successful, especially in its early days, because of the instant gratification aspect of it. And convenience is like the granddaddy of that, So we as a society here in Western world are just victims of that. We want everything right now. We want, when I press purchase this product, it's purchased, and I get the fucking tracking number or whatever right there and then, and then I know, you get a high from that. You get a, it's all for consumerism. It's all for consumerism. The powers that be, that's all they care about is the money. They don't care about nothing else. They just care about the money. They just care about gaining. That's all it is. And when certain people they talk about capitalism and say it's a bad thing, and then there's other people that talk about it and say it's a good thing, and I literally see both sides of the argument of what they're trying to say, and both sides are true. Mm-hmm. The people who are pro capitalism, they're basically saying free market, you should be able to trade your goods and do what you want to do. I agree with that. That's cool.
That's what was happening before. It was all bartering and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Growing up, sorry.
And then the negative, no, don't worry about it. The negative side would be basically people will take advantage of that and hoard resources. Like if they have the access to the resource, they will hoard that resource and basically make you have to pay for it. And if it's a natural resource, they will do it regardless. They don't care.
All
what I'm saying? And all resources, no resources, all resources matter. So
yeah, that's part of the content.
So that, and then that, and when you put it into that perspective, that's where I more strongly lean to, because think about things like water, bro. Why are you guys selling water? Why do you sell water? Water should not be sold. Period.
Not only that, they sell in a plastic bottle. Oh my god, all of this stuff that is literally, it's all a plan, and it's crazy. All the stuff that you could go ahead and tell me that they're gonna sell like water. Right. I don't know what the next one's gonna be, but I'm waiting for it. But I'm gonna stick with water right now, mm-hmm. because water is used to be sold in a glass bottle. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't really remember that, but I had a real small. But it was a glass bottle.
Yeah.
So why is it plastic now? Oh, because we want to we want to produce. Okay. But the plastic doesn't even fucking break down anymore. Mm-hmm. You can't even really recycle that shit. Mm-hmm. And the shit that I learned 2 days ago when you get soda in a bottle, anything I guess in a bottle really, if it interacts with light or interacts with sun or whatever, it changes the whole composition of the shit. So soda in a bottle, the soda itself actually breaks down the plastic, and now there's plastic in the soda. So when you drink it, you're already drinking plastic.
Right.
Glass doesn't break down like that.
Exactly. The plastic in the ocean is in the fish that we eat. You know what I'm saying? It's in the animals that's in the water. So we are as humans are digesting the plastic, the same plastic. It's a curse. It's a curse.
And they've been taking our natural resources and selling it back to us, more harmful than what it's really supposed to be. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at, and we're just okay with that.
We're just going along.
See, another thing.
Where the humanity is, the majority of humanity now is the go along, get along gang. Just to quote Kwame Brown.
Go along, get along gang.
Yeah, go along, get along gang, and that's all we do is we just go along with whatever's being told to us just to get along and for convenience. Yeah. It's again the convenience. Like that's all it is. The powers that be understand that humanities will always flock to convenience for the most part. The majority of humanity will flock to convenience because we are, especially this modern generation, we are that's just what it is. You know, it's just to make life easier. And it's also been manufactured that way because they will make it harder for you if you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much harder. Yes. So it's like, it's not even like, oh, we're just choosing convenience. It's literally, we're being forced to choose convenience. We're being forced to do what's easier for us because you just make it so much harder not to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know what's so crazy? If you think about it, right? What was the thing growing up for us? Oh, the future's going to be so dope. We're going to be able to do this and we're going to be able to do that. And we're not going to have to...
Right.
Oh, shit.
Bro, that's what I was saying to you earlier about just preconditioning. Like, everything's preconditioned now. Like, they tell us things years ahead of time so we could already be set up for it.
To rely. It is, and it's convenient, it's easy, it's all these words that mean the same thing. But at the end of the day, it also means rely. We're relying on these entities, these people, these experts, these fucking people that want to tell us what's right and what's wrong and have a say in everything. We're relying on them to give us the information, which means that it's convenient to get the information from them, which means that they could tell us whatever they want and we're going to believe it. Which also leads us to, again, present day. Who's got the vax? You know what I mean? Nobody's doing research no more. Nobody's even thinking about that. Nobody's even talking about that because all we've had to do is rely. Let's go to Stop and Shop and get some food. Let's go to fast food places and get this shit nice. They seasoned it for us. They cooked it for us. It's just ready to go, packaged up. Let's go. Oh, we got the internet. Yo, if I look something up right now, I'll get it in 2 seconds. Google, blah blah blah. That's another conversation for another time. But the fact that it's just like you said, that like even Amazon, I'm gonna order it. I'm gonna get this. Boom, put it in the pipeline. Boom, boom, set up my door tomorrow. Everybody's just been conditioned, just like you said, go along and get along. So obviously, this is the next best thing. This is the shit we want. It's just been so coupled together perfectly to be so deceiving that everybody's just accepting it because it just looks so good. Just like the food. That food looks really good, right? That shit looks... Oh my God, I can't believe you cooked that and seared that shit. Nigga, you ain't supposed to be eating that shit. Why are you eating that shit? It looks good.
For real,
I still do it. You know, and it's going to take some time to get off of it. It's going to take a lot of time to get off of it until you get more and more research. Because obviously, I can say that right now and you'll be like, nigga, I like chicken. Nigga, I like that shit. Nigga, I like that. All right, great. But where are your problems coming from? If you really look into the food that you're eating, you'll find that, oh, this shit causes this. This shit causes that. This shit causes...
Exactly, bro. It's like, even... That's why I'll try to explain this. Like, even as I'm talking to you right now, I'm not talking to you like I'm higher than thou. Like, I'm not higher than you. I'm saying that this is what's going on. So...
I'm becoming self-aware,
and I want you to also be self-aware with me because I'm also a victim of this. I'm also doing this shit right now.
Thank you.
And like I was telling you, like from real earlier on in the show, it's so far-reaching. Like, it's so far-reaching that even when you think you're becoming self-aware, you're still part of it, because it's been so many aspects of reality that it's you like reality is not nothing you ever been taught, period. It's nothing you ever been taught. So even as I'm speaking right now, I'm still speaking off knowledge of not reality. Do you understand? So words I'm saying right now, I'm still in the process of undoing that. Exactly. Because I have to undo literally everything I ever been taught or force fed or whatever you want to call it, and then I will be in reality, because reality has no rules. Exactly. It has no blueprint. It's just what it is. Reality is what it is.
It's just you existing.
There's no laws, there's no rules, there's no guidelines, period. It's just what it is, you know. And when you sit down to think about your existence, you will start to recognize that, damn, like, I'm not even who I am. I'm not who I am. I'm just rules. I'm just laws. I'm just fucking guidelines. I'm just criteria.
I'm just a straw man.
You know what I'm saying? You're just a straw man. You got to get out of that. You know, you got to let go of identity politics. You got to let go of identity in general, because your identity that you think you have or you think you are is not that. It's not that. It's period. It's just not that. It's all definitions, all fucking rules and shit that someone placed upon you, and you accepted because you related to them. And it's not your fault, because the people who told you that and taught you that, they were basically manipulating and picking certain aspects that are real. Don't get me wrong, they are real, but it's in a whole system of manipulation from way back out of your control, way back out of your parents' control, way back out of your great grandparents, and so on and so forth. It's all out of a whole box of that stuff. You just gotta understand that it's not just you, it's also me right now. Again, I'm not exclusive from what I'm saying. It's all just a part of, for lack of a better term, fuckery. You know, it's all just a whole bunch of fuckery where they want us to be distracted trying to prove a point that they are presenting to us. We don't have to prove anything. You were born. That's it. You don't have to prove nothing else to nobody else. There's nothing to prove to these people. You are just alive. You know what I'm saying? The people that want you to prove something to them, that's their own problem. It's not your problem, because you were just born into this. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Man, and that's a whole bunch of things that, you know, that really be destroying our lifetime, because we're brought up with these expectations. You know, everybody's expected to be, or everybody's expected to do this, and at the end of the day, nobody wants to do shit.
They're all decisions. Expectations are just decisions of life, decisions of fate. Expectation is a decision of fate. You are trying to fulfill something.
You're trying to change. You're trying to change. That's that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But I was watching this video, and the dude was saying, he was like, "Listen, the world flows. Okay, everybody's who they're supposed to be. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. You know."
Right.
So, I don't remember the rest of the video. I was trying to find it right here, but I found another. Oh, is this right here? Oh, this is it right here. Boom! I'm about to play it. Fuck this. Here we go. I got you.
You see yourself as a person who is in a veil of tears and
That's actually not it. Mistakes were made, bro. My bad. But he was talking about how basically just expectations just change your whole life. Okay? Like, you want something to go so right that you will literally like go for it, go so hard. And if it doesn't come the right way, or it doesn't happen the right way, what happens to you? You're pissed off, right?
You're now depressed.
You're done. You're basically like finished, because now it didn't go the right way. But the world is not supposed to go the right way for you. You're supposed to flow with the world.
Exactly.
You know, you're supposed to make this shit happen. You know, you're supposed to adapt and change and fucking go through this shit that's happening to you. So it teaches you lessons. It teaches you this shit. You're not supposed to have expectations.
And it's not even as complicated as you're saying it.
Right.
It's like literally you just go, and it's funny because I'll call y'all to go along, get along gang, but y'all going along and getting along with humans. You got to go along and get along with the earth, get along with the universe, because
with the flow of energy.
Because that's what's in control of what's going on. You know, everybody else is trying to manipulate what's going on, and that's why there's a whole bunch of problems. If you just go along with your natural inclinations of what you're supposed to do, you will be fine. If you're not supposed to be a millionaire, billionaire, that is okay. You're not supposed to be that. You're not, and it's not even that. Like, that shouldn't even be an idea in your head. Period. Because it's not even about that shit.
Because money
is not a real shit. It's just a man-made shit that we made up, that they made up to convince us to be slaves. Period. That's all it is. You yourself already know what you're supposed to do, and when you get a feeling like, oh, why is this so hard, or I'm not supposed to be doing this, it's because you're not. It's because you're not supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to be doing whatever else you're doing. Whatever else you were born here to do, or whatever else is just whatever skills or whatever was passed down to you. You're supposed to do that. That's it. It's not more complicated than that. You know, you listen to your inner voice, all that stuff like that. That's real. Like, the more I grow older, the more real those little things become to me.
Yeah, I found that video. I got y'all.
Let's go.
Well, we got an hour. So we're at an hour now. So you want me to just play this video and then kind of just see them out afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this will kind of wrap up the whole expectation thing right here. So let me just play this. I found it.
The real world. What happens is the real. We do. That's the real world. What happens is the real world. What I think should happen is wrong. You do your best to make it happen, but if it doesn't, that's all you can do is your best. Do you understand that? But if you have expectations of somebody, and it doesn't turn out that way, it means your judgment regarding that person is wrong. Like a girl came to me and she said, I sent my boyfriend through college to become a doctor. I paid for all his college training. And then he ran off with my best girlfriend and got married. So I said, you're very lucky. He was a son of a bitch. You got rid of a bad guy. Your ability to judge people is what's at fault, not the guy. He was a son of a bitch, but you couldn't detect that. So you have to learn how to evaluate people. And once you learn to do that, you're more apt to have better judgment. Do you understand? It's not the world that hurts you. It's your own do.
At the end of that, he was saying, it's not the world that hurts you. It's literally your own expectations. So instead of expecting things and wanting them things to go the right way, see things for what they are and adapt. Then your expectations will change, and you'll see that what your expectations are of this person start to come true. They start to really start to manifest themselves, and you won't be that person that is talking about, damn, my expectations are wrong. You just gotta listen to what's going on around you.
Well, that's perfect for this quote I'm about to say right now to help close us out. From mathematician Henri Poincare, intuition is more important to discovery than logic. Period. So, and to me, or what he's saying, I will say, is just the inner voice that you're hearing is what you're supposed to be doing. You know, like, your brain is actually kind of an enemy to your soul in a certain way. It's an op in a certain way, especially when it's not aligned, or especially when it's not controlled by your soul. You need to get back you need to get your brain, your mental back in line with your soul, so you can function accordingly to what you're actually supposed to be doing.
Exactly. And start seeing this shit around you that you're supposed to be seeing, so you're not caught off guard all the time. But hey, what do I know, man? What do we know? What do we know, right? I laughed. You don't gotta. I'm
was
chilling.
Just born.
Right, exactly. So, hey, fucking use your own discernment. I love that word. Use your own logic. Use your brain. Connect the dots, because we used to do that with little lines and picture books and shit. And just really just start paying attention more.
And avoid confirmation bias. because that just makes you look weak.
Right? Do your own fucking research. Yeah, bitch. And just remember, all content matters. So whatever you find is very important to the next person that will find the next answer for you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Till next time, homies. We out of here. Deuces.
Bye.